Hey guys, just wanted to share this quick deck, this Gravekeeper deck that I was building on, and it kind of tries to solve the problem of Nobleman of Crossout, so that your spy and your other flip monsters do not get knocked. Um, to achieve that, there's actually a creative idea I came up with. Thank God I was looking at Exchange and Drag Down into the Grave, which are actually extremely good cards, and I feel like they have been overlooked, at least in the circles that I was playing Goat in. Um, and they work incredibly well because what you can do is you can basically just set your spy, um, you know, and then activate exchange and just grab the knock out of the hand of the opponent. And if you don't have exchange, you have a drag down into the grave, which kind of tries to achieve a similar thing. And it actually works quite well because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 outs to knock, 3 judgments, 3 exchanges, 3 drag downs. Now, you could talk about problems that arise from this deck, like, going -1 basically. But you don't really care if you go -1 and get like a really good card out of the hand of the opponent and give your opponent a bad card. You give them something like a Gravekeeper monster that is just stuck in your hand, like one of the triple assailants or spearmans that you also play in this deck, or like a terraforming or a necro valley or something like that, or stuff that your opponent just can't activate because they do not play Gravekeepers. Um, of course, there are some things that can be problematic, but this so far has been the most functional Gravekeeper deck I've tried, at least. Um, because, like I said, it solves the problem, and at the same time, it's not just like a hard knock counter, like spell negation or something like that, where you specifically try to counter knock and nothing else, or very few other cards, which is just not the case with this deck, because you play something that, if your opponent doesn't have knock, you can take Heavy Storm, you can take, I don't know, Pot of Greed, Grace, Duo, you can take a Snatch, you can take one of the power cards of your opponent just out of their hand and give them a bad card for it. Um, I must admit, Dragged is just like, it's not as good as Exchange, of course, because it's simply discard one, draw one. But, you know, you gotta have good first turn counters to knock, and I guess it's at least good enough to play in this deck as well, next to Exchange. It has been working quite well for me, and I really enjoyed the process of optimizing this deck today. Trying to optimize it. And yeah, because you play triple Tsukiyomi and all this like hand control stuff, you are allowed to play knock yourself in this deck. Yes, I know. A lot of people say, how could you play knock in a deck where you play spy and your opponent could play spy and you could knock the spy? I know, I know. But if you have this amount of hand control and 3 Tsukiyomis and also a likelihood of you drawing into your spy and setting it and not caring as much if 2 Gravekeeper spies would get banished from your deck, this works quite well, I must admit. So give it a shot yourself and tell me what you think about this deck, if you enjoyed it, if you've encountered problems with it, or have new ideas regarding this build. Thank you for watching and have a good day.